Hey guys, welcome to another episode of
Discovering Our Journey.
I'm your host MC.
And I'm JC. Oh,
man.
Yes. So earlier on the phone, you were calling me talking about some stuff that you were experiencing this week.
Yeah, it was just a deep emotional, understanding of some of the pain that I've gone through to try to come out into the light, kind of thing. Some of my journey that's been pretty tough.
What do you think that pain is?
Growing up, I had different ideas, understandings of life and stuff, and it's just so hard to get hit with the reality of life. So it was just like, man, a lot of expectancies, right? Expectancies, how stuff's supposed to work, and it don't work like that. So, even to the point where, sometimes, expectancy, I think, is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
You expect things to go a certain way. You expect to, things to happen a certain way. And, it's like, what the heck is going on?
So where did you find yourself? What's going on? Like, what started you off?
I had a discussion, and I realized that, at one point, I really felt like that I just had this anger inside of me, this let's call it this devil inside of me, demon, I don't know, whatever, this feeling
inside spiritual battle
inside of me of just anger and stuff. And in this situation that happened, I found myself seeing that anger, but it was outside of me. It wasn't inside of me anymore. And it was kind of like chilling in the sense, like, because I'm like, whoa, you're right there. Like, wait a minute, you're not inside of me no more. But I still felt the energy, the negativity energy and stuff like that. And felt like I wanted to turn, like it wanted to come back inside of me and make me feel defeated and how I felt before. So I still kind of felt it, but
wait. Let's pause that really quick. Hold on. So where do you find yourself in this moment? Before you answer that one though, were you always struggling with this anger? Like, was there something that always triggered or sparked this anger? Maybe some sort of addiction, cycle of anxiousness, or like tormenting thoughts?
It's just, not feeling good enough sometimes, just not, a lot of it has been tied into my weight journey. I've been a big guy most of my adult life. All my younger years, it was like slim, 167, football team. And once I got older and started just, developing and stuff and just started putting on the weight, it got tough. I mean, I got to 411 pounds at one point. Yeah. And it was not easy. Yeah. That one was a big weight on my shoulder of feeling defeated, not realizing what to do. It was a big, and I've come so far with this weight loss transformation now and change of lifestyle. It's not even a weight loss. I'm not even doing a diet or nothing. It's just, I'm just changing my way, trying to be more happy, just not being content with what I got, but understanding that I'm the one that's in control.
So, okay. So in this moment, you said you found yourself that there was some, you were almost face to face with it?
I just felt like I started getting like this how I normally would get upset or feel like a less of a person in the sense of where, like, if someone, like, the biggest thing for me is sometimes if someone calls me a liar, right? Makes it seem like I'm a liar. Mm-hmm. Like that infuriates me. You can call me whatever you want, but a liar, it's like, oh man, that's deep for me. Yeah. So in this thing, you start to believe it because maybe you haven't been the greatest person. Yeah. And I know that I haven't been the greatest person in this world. So, and I've made mistakes, and so I feel like sometimes these words feed into that monster that we don't take, that we don't handle in life, right? The monster that we have, that's that irresponsible monster, that person that maybe might not be so
You're
true.
Never going to reach that bar.
Exactly. And we keep feeding that monster and stuff that's inside of us, and it's like, this monster starts appearing and you start to feel it inside. At least I did at one point. Yeah. But now this time I felt it on the outside, which was weird.
Whoa.
This was weird. Like, I felt
Where were you? Like, were you like in the bathroom? Were you in your room?
I was in the living room and stuff. And it's one of those things where I just started to feel this thing like you're not good enough. This world sucks. And it's like he's talking to me. It was weird because he was talking to me this way. And normally I feel him up here. Like I feel him more like it was inside of me before.
Wow.
And this time I didn't really feel him I didn't feel him inside of me. I'm like, whoa. The craziest thing I could think of is it reminded me of that movie 13 Ghosts.
Oh.
You remember that movie 13
yes.
Ghosts? So if you guys don't know, it's a movie 13 Ghosts. You gotta check it out. It's it's an old school movie.
You don't have to check it out. No, you don't. No, you don't. Just listen.
But the bottom line is there's these ghosts that are trapped inside of like this house of mirrors of glass walls and stuff. And
he used to be like a ghost hunter, and he trapped all these
trapped them and stuff. So there's a point where it's like this demon is like right here, and you're like, holy moly! And you have control in a sense, but you don't really know who else has like it's a door, so you're like, wait a minute. Can this door just open all of a sudden?
Right.
Do I have the control, or how is it? I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like like that. It's just he's right here, and it's just like just waiting for you to mess up and just take him in and be like, yeah, that is me. And then it's like, no, you can't believe that. You can't believe it. So for the first time, I started singing in my head, all these praises that these things that I know, and just God is here, and he's everywhere, and it's just like, man, because it was tough. It was tough to feel that way, and it's just. Man, but it felt good that I didn't feel him in here anymore. I felt him, like I said, there was a separation.
Yeah. Dude, that's almost like, it talks about, Scripture talks about that too. He says when you clean up your house and, they go away, they try to come back to see how you're doing. That's crazy. That's Scripture right there for you. But it sounds like you went from bondage to true freedom.
I guess. I don't even know when that happened. Because, there's times that, how I felt before sometimes. It's like I said, we would be, let's just say we're at a party somewhere or something, getting along. And one of my friends would be like, oh, man, I want to, we're going to go on this trip and this and that or whatever. And then all of a sudden, like, my friend would be like, what's wrong? I was like, nothing. You good? Yeah, I'm good and stuff. And it's like, oh, you seem different. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And what it is like, I start to get angry, like, why am I not doing this? Or why, man, I wish I could go, or I could do this. And the truth is I had control the whole time, but I just, I don't know. I just down myself even more. Like,
so this is when you would hear it here?
Exactly.
So those scenarios would spark it. Those would trigger that spiritual warfare within you.
And now that I'm talking about it, maybe it's almost like the whole thing they talk about now, like FOMO, fear of missing out or something. People see stuff on media. But see, and what's funny is that doesn't affect me as much. Like I can see things that people post or whatever, and that doesn't trigger me.
Yeah.
I think it's when I'm with my friends or family that we talk about certain things. Like, oh, I just went here. I'm going to go there or whatever. Yep. And I think that triggers me more than just looking at some stuff because I kind of know how that is. It's like everyone posts stuff like that. So that doesn't. But when it's in front of me, like I would start to feel like negative or whatever. Not hate the person, like, oh, I'm jealous of the person. It's just like, man, I wish I could go or I wish I could do this. But I realize like I can. It's just I'm the only one that could stop myself.
Yeah.
And that negative that I would feel, I felt him inside, and I'd be like, just this, you don't do nothing, and you're never going to lose weight, and you're not going to amount to stuff, And
ooh, do you think that, how we have the commandments, how it says you shouldn't envy? Do you think that could be like a spirit against like envy?
But see, the thing
desire of wanting something so bad, or not being...
I guess the way that I used to look at envy was more like the person, like, oh, I hate her for that or hate him for that. But that I don't see it. I never saw it that way. Like I never said I hate him or her for that. Like that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
So it was just like I said, I just felt like this anger inside of me and stuff that it's like, same thing with my weight loss journey when I would see people like losing weight and working out, and it's like, man, it's just like, and it would be so tough. And then sometimes, we'd run into these people, we run into these people and, and my wife would even try to tell me like, hey, babe, hey, look, so-and-so, we just ran into so-and-so. And it's like, look, they gain weight. It's natural. It's okay, babe. Don't get like this.
Oh, she's trying to like calm you down.
Yeah, she'd be like, don't
you're too tough on yourself.
Yeah, you're too tough on yourself, So my wife would be the calming factor sometimes and be like, look, so-and-so, look what happened.
Yeah.
Or sometimes like, oh my God, I just ran into, so-and-so. And it's like, they gained a little weight and this and that. And it's like, yeah, it's called life, babe. And I'm like, all right. So I was always been so tough on myself.
Yeah, we're our own worst critic. That's always how it is. But it sounds like you put so much on yourself, that it did turn into something greater.
So ugly, and it was just so ugly inside, and I'm just so glad it's not inside of me no more, because I don't feel like that at all anymore.
And so, okay, so walk me through this, because I know that we've all gone through it. And what you're saying, a lot of times, maybe not at your degree, because we're all different.
Yeah.
But I've had that where I'm just like, I'm never enough, and I want to be enough. And I felt those strong desires and those hurts, because it does spark this within me. So when it was in you, how do you feel that you pushed it out of you to that point where you can see it? Like, how do you think that happened?
Well, see, I don't think I even realized when I pushed it out of me. The thing is that I just realized it was out of me because of what happened.
Did you pray? Did you I mean, I heard you saying that you sang hymns after you saw it.
It's almost like I just been accepting me for who I am. Yes, of course, I'm always praying, but that's really accepting me. It is the accepting me and understanding me that God has a plan, and I can't force nothing, I can't push nothing, and accept me for how I am. And of course, always with the help of God, it's so much easier. You have to believe in yourself, and then if you believe in a higher power, even it gives you even more power. So the thing is that's what I've been doing. One of my biggest milestones that I thought I was going to just, I've been waiting for this milestone for I don't know how long, and I was gonna, my goal was on what was it, March 1st. I was 4 pounds away from reaching my goal to basically 10 years to the day that I was going to be able to be one of my lowest that I've been in a very long time, that I was 10 years ago when I did my challenges. I've been working towards that goal, little by little, not pushing, and little by pound. I was 3 weeks away from getting to my goal, and work just came like a landslide. I had to leave the gym for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And what happened right now? I gained 12 pounds from there.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure that brought because you.
But if I was someone different, if I was the person I was before, dude, I would be like, no, it has to be that day.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not that person no more. I'm not. It has to be that day.
You gave yourself grace.
I'm like, you know what? All right, God. It's gonna be 10 years. It's gonna be 10 years in like 4 months. Dang it! 10 years, 10 years and 5 months. But I'm going there. I ain't not stopping. So even though I got pushed back and gained those 12 pounds, so now I'm like 16 pounds away from my dang goal.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's all right. It's life. I can't. So working on myself with these things, I think, is when this situation happened that I was like confronted with myself, that I'm like, oh, dang. Because now I don't have it inside of me no more, because I've been working at it. Like, I can't force stuff. You can't.
That's crazy.
Because you start to feel like this desperation of stuff, like trying to prove to someone that you are honest, or trying to prove someone that you are who you are, or but who are you really proving to yourself? You got to know yourself. But the truth is, yes, we do things that start to question that within our lives. Because I know I've not been the greatest person. I know I've not been the greatest brother, the greatest son, the greatest husband, the greatest. I know there's so much I've had to work on, and I still got to work on. But we just can't feed those demons.
Yes.
Because man, we'll stay there and it'll be within us.
Yep. And it just festers. It festers, and everything that you say is negative, and everything you tell yourself, like you were saying, it's all negative.
Yeah, I'm not a good brother. I'm not a good son. I'm not a good husband. You can't do it. You stop doing it. And yes, we're going to make mistakes. We're not going to be the perfect husband, the perfect son, the perfect brother. We're not. But work on what you can. Don't focus on what you can't, because sometimes a lot of it has to also to do with opinions. It has to do with situations.
It sounds like you surrendered something really big, and only God could really give you peace through that. And it sounds like you knew it. So because when you said that you saw it, what were you really feeling? Like what?
Man.
Because I heard you say that you heard, again, not from here though, from here, the you're never enough. It's not like all the depressing things we tell ourselves.
Yeah.
But could you could you be more like in the moment of like the feeling around you?
I mean, honestly, I couldn't hear anyone or anything else at the moment because it was just my own feeding of this person that I'm not, that I'm working to be better than, that kind of presented himself back like, hey, remember me? And it's like, you know, you're and it was like, whoa, what are you doing there? Normally I feel you here. So it was a weird way to describe it. It was like, normally I feel that presence, and right now, like, I saw it, like, hey, remember me? Like, almost like another example, maybe like a mirror that you're like, wait a minute, why are you moving if I'm not moving and you're a mirror? It's like that person is not me right there. What the heck is going on?
Yeah.
So it was just this feeling that, you know, I've, you know, I used to not be able to handle situations before, to the point where I would have to sometimes, you know, get so emotionally into a situation where I'm like, damn, I got to go pray. And I would have to go pray and pray and pray. And then it got to the point where I would just sit there and pray. And I've been working at it little by little to where it finally came off. But this time it was like a challenge.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, he came back. Like, what the heck? He came back with a vengeance. And I'm like, but it was I'm so grateful, like I said, that I was looking at him from the outside and not feeling him on the inside.
And as soon as you like started to sing, he just...
The truth is, he never went away.
Okay, he stayed there.
He stayed there.
I'm telling you, what a spiritual battle.
And I got like these chills, because I don't think I've ever been so scared in my life. But at the same time, I felt like I had control, though. That normally I wouldn't feel chills, I'd lose control, and then that's when I'm like, I gotta go pray. And I would just be like, ugh, like I want to explode, like I want to, you know. I've always been the type that, you know, like I like to punch the floor or the walls, like I just want to get this out of me, and I'll be hitting just anything.
See, I think that is spirit, because you almost lose control. You lose control.
Yeah, I mean, I was bad when I was younger. I mean, honestly, when I would get into arguments or whatever situations, or feel upset at my mom or certain things, I would just leave the house and I would just sit there and just go hit walls or whatever until my knuckles bled. That was my thing.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
You know, and that was my thing, because I just, the pain that was inside of me, that I was, you know, realizing now I put it on me and stuff, but this weight was so heavy, like my physical hurt.
Like a weight, like a vest,
exactly.
a weighted vest.
And I rather my hands hurt than my spirit hurt,
right,
and stuff. So it was like, how do I get this out? So I've come a long way.
Absolutely. It sounds like it. No, but you know, I have felt that when I was back in my years and I struggled with addiction, and I had people throw it in my face of the person how I used to be. And I would get that way because I tried so hard for, like, at that moment, right, when I could remember, it was like 2 years of hard desire to stop and to shift the friendships, and for someone to say that I was lying or cheating, or like, it really brought me to that level where I was just like, oh, like I turned into the Hulk, because I didn't want to accept that. And it's almost like it was a struggle. I get you what you're saying. Yeah. I totally get you.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a double struggle, because the person's pulling you, and sometimes if within you it's pushing you towards that.
Yeah.
So you feel that push, like so you feel it within.
Come on, you're that person.
You know, so you're fighting. No. You're fighting. Like I said, imagine you're fighting within.
Yeah.
And it's different. So I was like fighting this on the outside. It was like, never experienced this before in my life. It's the first time, and I'm like, wow, thank God, I'm in a better place, because that could have been it could have been a lot worse. Yeah, for me, I would have just, so I'm glad I'm in such a better place. I thank God, you know, I thank, you know, my wife, I thank my friends, my family, thank you, everyone that's around me that's trying to be positive, you know, to be able to feel this and really accept the positivity.
Yeah. So as far as everything goes, I mean, is this always going to be an ongoing battle? Do you think it's done?
I haven't thought about it for a long time. So this was the first time that it showed back up. And, you know, and...
So what was, I'm sorry, and then what was the time frame? When you first saw it to just recently when it showed back up? Like, what did that look like?
Man, close to a year maybe that I really felt him. Again, frustration, whatever. Yes, I've gone through stuff like that, but to feel that what I felt like, that it's just wanted to make me run and stuff and just be like what the heck? It was it's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Do you believe your surrender, fully giving it to Jesus, was a turning point instead of your earlier efforts?
See, I feel that, this whole time, I mean, I have been working with God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the surrender part. I guess the only thing I could say is that, I ask God to give me the tools to help me overcome what I need to. That sometimes I try to do as much as I can sometimes, and I'm blessed to have Him. I'm blessed to have Him, available to where it's like, I ask Him, hey, God, please, I need this. I need to be able to, to overcome this, and that's what I've done. In this situation right now, I do feel like when I got to this point where it was like, I felt like it was just right here in my face. At that point, I felt like you could say I surrendered to Him in the sense to where it was like, okay, God, you got this, right? God, you got this, God. Like, I was like, Jesus, take the wheel. Like, please. It's almost like the example of like, the crazy thing that came to my head was, it's almost like someone walked up to me and was like, hey, hold on to this rope. And I'm like, it's hanging over a cliff, right?
Oh, gosh. And
it's like, they gave me this rope and I hang onto this rope and it's like, it's over the cliff. And it's like, okay. So I'm holding onto this rope and I'm like, wait. What's on the other end of this rope? Oh, just make sure you don't pull it up or you let it go. And I'm like, why? He's like, oh yeah, because the devil's hanging on the other end. What? Say what? Whoa, wait. Well, how do I know he's not coming? No, just keep giving it slack. Don't let it go all the way down and don't pull it all the way up. And it's like, like I felt like I was holding on to something. Like, wait, am I good at hold on to this? Jesus, please hold this rope. It's like that's the way I kind of felt.
Wow.
Like I felt like he was over there, but I had some control.
Yeah.
But I didn't really want the control. I'm like, God, please, it's like, intervene here. Like, dude, please, so that's how I felt. That's like the only way I can describe the way that I felt. That at that moment, I'm just like, hey, this is you, God, and just sang His praises. It just was like, when you saw this evil, like I said, that I saw here, it was just, but it was on the outside. So like I said, it felt scary as heck. It's one of the most scares I've ever been. But at the same time, like I felt like I had enough control to be like, okay, what am I doing here? Okay, just, hey, it's over there. It's not here. And as I felt feeling like He's right there, it's like, okay, Jesus, take the wheel kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's darkness you felt, or was it?
It was just, I mean, to be honest, it's like I'm kind of trying to manifest it into where the feelings that I kept getting.
Right.
I got different feelings of like, first I felt like it was, the evil one. And then I almost felt like it was me looking at me. But, I'm assuming that it's like shape shifting to see what's going to be like, like the feeling was like, yeah, I'm you, I'm good, let me in, kind of thing. Like, no, wait, no,
that is
me.
insane.
So it was just this feeling that I got that I'm never, like I said, I pray that no one out there feels this thing ever, because it is hard. It is hard, but if you have Jesus in your heart and you believe and you feel that presence, you just invoke Him, because I mean that's the only thing that you can do. And
I don't know if you like anime. Have you seen The Last Airbender? The Avatar, they actually found this underground library, and he's got to face this demon who shapeshifts, and you cannot show any expression, otherwise he'll consume you. And it almost sounds the same way, like he's right in front of his face, and he's got no face, he's got like a mask on, and then as he starts to kind of go around the avatar, he starts to mold himself into people that scare him, or give him like these desires of like anger or fear, just all these things. So it's interesting you say that. It's almost like the same.
It was something that, I definitely feel like I will be ready for the next, because I'm sure there'll be a next.
Oh yeah.
Life is just, comes at you all the time. So there's going to be situations, but I'm blessed to say that, you know, I know who I am. I know where I'm going. You know, I have God in my heart, and you know, we got to keep moving along.
That's awesome. And so, what do you say to anyone out there that has that, like?
Guys, just like everything else, I mean, life is there. It happens. You know, I don't think this is going to go away. You know, it's something that's just going to be waiting there for, you know, a little opening, a little crack to be able to get back in. It's almost where that place where you're like, hey, it says don't feed the pigeons, and you're like, oh, well, there's like 2 pigeons, and you're like, oh, you know, and you're like, well, what's the big deal? And you sit there and you throw a couple crumbs to these 2 pigeons. The next thing you know, you're engulfed in pigeons. You're like, oh, dang, I can't get rid of this now. So it's like,
did I do that?
Exactly. So it's like you can't feed those emotions, and guys, it's gonna take time. I don't know how long, because some people might take less than more. You know, you really have to be able to sometimes, you know, it's not just sometimes about going to God and saying, you know, forgive me of my sins, because of course he's going to forgive you for your sins. Yeah. Of course, if you've been bad, he's going to forgive you, but you got to forgive yourself and let it work within you. Because I thought I was doing it the right way all these years, and I wasn't. Because I would still be upset about stuff if things didn't happen, and just feel a certain way that, man, I can't believe I'm to a point where I've balanced the scale this way now. So it's like, oh, I feel so good. I do not want to ever go back again and feel that weight, because it's a scale. If you feed it, it will come back.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful. You keep feeding the good and keep trying to be a better, positive person, and try not to think about, you know, these things and let you hold it down. That's it. You know what? It's almost like when they say, you know, I don't know, when you're a little kid and you did something, that's like how you remembered. You know what I'm saying? That you did something.
Yeah.
And it's like, it takes, you know, or they always say, you know, for every bad thing you do, you need to do like 10 good things for someone to remember, because it's always easy to remember. And that's the thing too with this scale. The weight of one bad thing is a lot more than the good ones, especially if you're holding on to that scale. If you're treating that scale, but you have the decision to give the power to that one thing. So it's okay if you do that one thing, but keep working at it. Don't give it that weight, because sometimes we feel like that one mistake is 10 pounds, and every good thing we do is only 1 pound.
Yeah.
So we start
our scale's way off.
Our scale's freaking way off.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful that, you know, God has put these challenges in front of me and made me realize and made me a better person, to where it's like, look, I'm tipping the scale this way, and I'm not going back. I'm not. And if I do make a mistake, because I'm human, it's going to happen. Yes. I will take ownership to that mistake and try to become better. And that's all that I can do.
Yeah. And you know, when you're trying and when you're really not trying, like we know. And I think that comes in as that discernment comes in, and you feel worse about yourself and more of a failure. And
it's just when you have that, and when you first try, I mean, it's almost like you're saying, yeah, I'm going to run. And everyone's like, yeah, you've been saying that for years. You run for a week and then you stop. Hey, you run for a month and then you stop. You run for a couple months. So that's when it's hardest, because it's like the scale.
It's like, up.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? It's just not giving up.
Yeah.
And it's going to get to a point where it's like, hey, I've been running for a year. And it's like, whoa, I guess you have been running for a year. Like, there you go. You started to tip the scale. Don't let it go back. If you miss out 2 months because of work, just go right back at it.
That's right.
Go right back at it. Don't think nothing of it. Don't be like, oh, you're back to where you were. Nope. You've already got the scale up like this. You've been running for a year. You know what? As soon as you got a chance, you know you got a chance.
And pretty soon, it's going to be that turn, you're going to hit it a lot smoother.
Oh, yeah.
And smoother and smoother. Because you know, there it goes. Okay, here it goes. You get better at making that turn.
Yeah. Don't force stuff, guys. Don't hold yourself bad. You know, growth is just one of those things where it takes time. You have to nourish the seed and the seedling, and you have to be really gentle, and you have to see it grow and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
We have to take care of it.
Absolutely.
And yes, you're not at first. It's okay to fail. Don't quit, and don't think that you're quitting. The what is it, like the saying says, right? There's no such thing as quitting unless you stop.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you see yourself now? Like, do you see yourself a lot more like, are you prouder? Are you standing tall saying, okay, I'm okay now?
I was doing good. You know, I felt like I was doing good. And I guess that's why this whole thing happened.
Right.
And yes, it's kind of like, yes, in one hand, I'm like, man, so he ain't going away, huh? All right. So that's kind of a little scary, you know.
Right,
But in the other hand, I'm like, but I fended him off. I didn't let him get inside. I didn't let him take over my emotions. I didn't let him get in and make me feel that feeling. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a little proud of myself to that I was able to get to that point where I don't feel him in here no more. He's in the outside trying to get in, and he ain't coming in.
And like I told you before, crisis is like a promotion. It almost sees, okay, let's see where you're standing now. You know, they say that the most beautiful gems are made with pressure. You know what I mean? So it's
that
like
is true.
That's
a good one. Yeah, you're right. It's just the pressure. You know, is what's going to mold you and stuff. So you got to hold on, and it just, man. And this was a good like. I'm blessed to have it. I'm not going to say that, you know what, the situation that happened. I'm glad I got to see how far I've come to the point where it's like, you know,
because no one can tell you now. Like you know it, and there's like nobody that can tell you any otherwise.
No, now. Of course, here comes the pressure. Where it's like, oh, now you're. Hey, by the way, you're the boss now. You're in charge. Oh, dang it! It's like, then I'm to the next level now. So I'm like, oh man. So it's like, so that is the little scary part where it's like, man, you're to the next level now. You know, you're man, yeah.
It's not easy. No, it doesn't get easy.
It doesn't get easier. But you're gonna
look back and you're gonna be like, wow, I tracked through all that. You know, and then you see other youth growing up, and it's almost like, oh gosh, here we go again.
It's not easy, but you have more tools.
Yeah.
You have more tools. Like I said, me, never sat there and started singing in my head, but man, I was singing in my head because I didn't know what else to do. So you're going to have more tools and more ways to figure out how is it that you're going to just make sure that you stay on that path.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's just like, man, I feel so good. Been hitting the gym these last couple of days, doing my 3 hours a day. You know, I don't know how long. Well, today
the best what you can do.
Yeah,
right?
best. Yeah, and today I can only do 2 because I had to go to work early. So
but I did 2 hours.
But I did it. I'm back, and I feel so amazing. And I thank God every day for this beautiful life. And I couldn't say that before.
Yeah, I'm telling you, every day to me is a good day. Right now, it's been like that for a very long time in many arenas of my life. Man. There's some things that have hit me because I have to mold myself to other behaviors and stuff.
Of course, life's gonna hit you. You know how it is. What do we always say?
There's no growth
without pain.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Victory.